I figured I would leave the West Virginia Sox in the drawer. There would be no need for them. You go Iowa State and you go K-State.
Yeah, you still got 2 wins today.
And hang on just a minute here. College Basketball Live Scoreboard presented by BMW. Kevin Connors, Dallin Cuff, Sean Farnham. A team that won 4 games during the regular season against the team that was the co-champions of the Big 12. Dallin, what did we just see?
We saw, and Robbie said it right there, that the West Virginia was the aggressor. They came out and threw the first punch, and it was a big punch. And they continued to dominate the glass throughout the course of the game, which was important. But sometimes when you go to these tournaments, Sean, you know this, you hit a reset button, you're able to say, hey, guys, those prior 30 games, that was who we were. We could be somebody else here for the next 4 days and go on a magical run and continue our season in the NCAA tournament. And right now they're playing together with a ton of energy. And Texas Tech, needless to say, wasn't very good, especially in the defensive end, which they've been all year.
Well, I think that was the thing to me. I mean, West Virginia made shots in this game early, but maybe even more impressive to me was when they lost the lead late in the game. Yep. They didn't get rattled. They just came right back at you, and now you're in a situation where you're 80 minutes away from an NCAA tournament bid. That's what March is about. March is about the opportunity, right? We always say, hey, is this team a bubble team? Are they in? Are they out? And all this stuff. Hey, look, control your own destiny. Control what you can control. And what I saw tonight out of West Virginia was a team that played with a concerted effort at the defensive end of the floor. They were very disruptive for a majority of the night. They forced Texas Tech into some rushed, poor shots, in particular in the first half. I mean, Chris Beard used all but one of his timeouts in the first 20 minutes. Yeah. That's how much they were in the head of Texas Tech early in that game, and then they were able to sustain that focus in the second half.
A West Virginia team that kicked 2 starters off the team during the year. I spoke with Bob Huggins in January.
It gives the Giants hopes for next year in the NFL.
You're right about that.
Wow.
Huggins said, you know what, I can't want it more than they did. I mean, they were dead and buried, and now they're 2 wins away from going to the NCAA tournament. Meantime, a look at the rest of the Big 12 tournament from earlier today. TCU, Kansas State. Another one of those teams, Sean, the co-Big 12 champions, and K-State came out and did what they needed to do.
Well, they did it mainly at the defensive end of the floor. 18 turnovers forced in this game, 22 points off of those turnovers. Again, playing without Dean Wade, they've done this before without D. Wade.
It's become a little bit of muscle memory. If he's in, they're better, yes, but they've learned how to play without him. They had a number of guys step up. They started slow, but on the defensive end, that's where they've hung their hat all year. That's how they turn the screws on the Horned Frogs. They end up winning going away.
19 points for Xavier Sneed. Wildcats 70-61 win. Iowa State and Baylor. We talked about it early. The barely old enough to vote Talon Horton-Tucker.
They may be the most enigmatic team in the country to me.
That's a big word
This
again.
is they are mercurial. How about that?
Okay, that's another one.
We'll go to the glossary for folks if they need to. Long story short, this team is a really elite offensive team, but when they don't defend and they don't rebound, they get beat by anybody. And you don't know when they're going to do those latter 2 things. And sometimes they defend, they don't rebound, like they did against Baylor last time they played. This game, they put it together enough, and they win by double digits.
Would it surprise you to see them in the championship game?
Of this tournament?
Yeah.
No.
Not at all, right?
When you said that, I thought you meant the tournament.
No. I'm talking about this one that's right in front of us. See the bracket?
That's
right there.
Right. Yeah, I'm a little slow, everybody. And, yeah, they could be in the championship without a doubt.
I really think they're going to they're obviously going to have to defend a little bit, but I think their offense is going to be problematic for K-State.
Fabulous matchup tomorrow on ESPN2, K-State, I-State. Here we go. Louisville, North Carolina just went final over on ESPN. Sean, the way that Kobe White has come on has really changed the ceiling for this team.
Look, we knew he could score, all right? And Roy Williams said best scoring point guard that he's had. But the bigger thing to me is his understanding of the offense. Tonight, 7 assists, only 1 turnover in the game. If he plays with that efficiency, with Cam Johnson, with Luke May, and all the threats that they have on that offense, Carolina can win the whole thing. Not just this tournament, Dallin. I mean the big tournament.
Yes, they can win the big tournament. And they have veterans like Kenny Williams, Luke May that have been part of it before. They've got all the pieces.
83-70 win. Virginia Tech, Florida State. May be the game of the day. Phil Kofer, 1 of 3, made 3-pointers. Florida State had it humming. And then Kerry Blackshear and company got back in this game. 17-9 for him, Sean.
Well, Kerry Blackshear is just a great presence underneath for a team that doesn't have a lot of ability to score inside the arc. When they're not making threes, you have to get points. And good shot to the hand sanitizer by Buzz Williams.
Devin Vassell, 14 off the bench, including that one. Dallin to send it to overtime. And then how tough is this?
Vassell's shot was brutal because it was contested, but man, you're falling out of bounds, Terrence, man. He finds a way to get it down, to get it to go down, and they end up shocking Virginia Tech.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker, no, and for the second time in 10 days, Florida State beats Virginia Tech in overtime. They're moving on to the semis. Zion Williamson, he's back. ACC Player of the Year, hasn't played since that big one in Chapel Hill, in the Cameron Indoor against North Carolina. But he will be in the lineup tonight when Duke takes on Syracuse. That game coming up over on ESPN in a matter of moments. He hasn't played in 6 games. What's reasonable to expect from Zion in this tournament game here tonight, Sean?
I think you can expect to see what we've seen all season long from him, to be honest with you. I don't think that Coach K was going to bring him back unless you could see what we've seen all season long. It's the same thing that, I'll tell you from an injury perspective, a lot of times coaches get you to a point where they know you can come back, and then they want that extra week to make sure that you're ready to go. Killian Tilly was that way for Gonzaga. He was ready to go for the regular season finale. They held him out and just got his wind and his conditioning back to where they wanted to see it. Zion Williamson, I'm sure he's been in the same boat. I bet you his knee was feeling fine last week, but it's more about protecting him and protecting their long-term goals as well as his long-term goals to make sure that when he steps back out on the court tonight, that there is no question in his mind what he can do out on the floor, and that is be himself.
You mentioned the condition. That's the biggest thing. How long can he play sustained the levels we've seen this year? How long can he play those minutes? That's a big question. I think to me, I think anytime you come back from injury, there is a little bit of, you got your timing, get your sea legs under you a bit, and he might struggle the first couple minutes, but I think he'll get a good rhythm. One thing that I think is important playing the Syracuse team, people always say they're playing the zone, and that sometimes puts you on your heels. I think it's a perfect opponent for him because he gets in that high post, right around where that ACC symbol is, and he carved them up in that first game. I mean, he scored 30-plus points living in the middle of that zone. That's a comfort area for him. He's deadly in there, and he's going to have many opportunities to do that.
Well, and then in the second game, you saw them kind of invert things and put some of their guards in there. Yep. So I wouldn't even be surprised with Bolden being out that we see Zion work the baseline and try to duck in on the backside and then move RJ into that center spot and then cut RJ out, and then bring Zion on a weak side flash into that spot to be able to open up their offense a little bit more.
Zion will go. Tyus Battle will not go. So we'll see if Boeheim can out-coach Duke and if Boeheim can out-shoot the Blue Devils too. Buddy Boeheim had 20 points last night in this.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Ithaca, but I'm a big Syracuse fan.
Okay.
I couldn't play it.
We got to be very clear about his allegiance.
Ithaca.
Exactly. Although I am wearing great socks tonight. When we come back, we'll check in on some of the bubble teams who are going to be sweating it out over the next 72 hours. And we are about 24 minutes away from seeing Dedrick Lawson, first team All Big 12 selection in Kansas, going up against the Texas Longhorns, a Horns team that really needs it. You can see Texas-Kansas coming up here in about 4 minutes. Devon Dotson. Sean, how does he impact what Kansas wants to do offensively?
Look, I really thought the beginning stages of February he was playing some outstanding basketball, and he was scoring the basketball. Then he's kind of hit a little bit of a rough patch since then with some inconsistency, a couple games with just 6 points. He needs to score the ball, and he needs to be aggressive and assertive because it's going to open up the offense for his teammates. Again, this is not a great three-point shooting team for Kansas. Attack the rim off the top.
Kerwin Roach not in the starting lineup. Of course, he's been coming off that suspension. Dallin, same question. How does he impact what Texas wants to do?
And him and Matt Coleman are key. Those two guards, we thought all year they would carry this team, but their inconsistencies have been a bit of an issue. And that's why this Texas team has been inconsistent. Coupled that with his off-the-court issues and disciplinary problems, he hasn't played in the last 5 games. So, they're going to need him to play at a high level, to be able to attack downhill, to get in the teeth of that defense. Coleman as well, and be able to play a good pick-and-roll game with Jackson Hayes, the fantastic freshman at times. But it's not going to be an easy game, but a game, again, they have to have.
Been a really difficult season for Kansas. Who wins this game tonight?
Playing in the Sprint Center is a de facto home game for KU. I'm going to take KU.
Kansas is winning this game.
They are, okay. Kansas moving on. You heard from the guys here. We will see you when you join us at halftime. For now, out to Kansas City, John Sciambi and Robbie Hummel for the call of Texas and Kansas. Enjoy.
Welcome back to Champ Week, presented by Principal and the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship. More hopes coming your way. A look at downtown Kansas City. Our 4th and final quarterfinal, the Big 12 Championship. The Texas Longhorns, the 6 seed. They need a win. They'll take on the 3 seed, the Kansas Jayhawks. Now, earlier tonight, we had a good one, and we had an upset. Bob Huggins and West Virginia, the 10 seed, not expected to pick up a win. Regular season champs Texas Tech stood in their way. Emmett Matthews Jr., 28 points, and West Virginia, the 10, beats the 2, 79-74. So we check out the bracket now. And here's how it stands. Kansas State and Iowa State set for one semifinal. It's West Virginia awaiting the winner of this one for the other semifinal. Welcome courtside, everybody. John Shambi, pleased to be joined by Robbie Hummel. Let's start with Kansas. And you're talking about a Kansas team. We're so used to seeing them with all the pressure and winning the regular season title. And it's different now.
Well, for the first time in 10 years, I think the Big 12 championship means something for this team. A regular season defined and derailed by injuries and leave of absences. No Udoka Azubuike, no LeGerald Vick. However, things can still be salvaged here in Kansas City. You're trying to get positive momentum going into the NCAA tournament. You can do it here by making noise at the Big 12 tournament.
Even their head coach, Bill Self, talked about a different vantage point for this group.
In a tournament-type setting in this Big 12 tournament, I don't know that we've been an underdog in a long time. But that's also good too, because it's good to have to play with pressure. But now maybe we'll let somebody else play with that pressure. So maybe that'll free us up a little bit to make a few more shots.
Now for the Jayhawks, last year a Final Four appearance, previously 2 straight Final 8 appearances. Obviously one of the blue blood programs in all of college basketball. The other side, it's a Texas team, and Shaka Smart right now coming off a really tough loss at home against TCU. This simple. Got to win.
Have to win. And you have to play better than you did Saturday in Austin. An uninspired, really, performance against a desperate TCU team. The question here is, which Texas team are we getting? Are we getting the one that's beaten Purdue, beaten North Carolina? We could also get the Texas team that's lost to Radford at home, lost to VCU at home. It's all about putting together a good performance here. They played Kansas tough. We'll see what can they do here in Kansas City.
All right, for more on the Texas Longhorns and their star center, Jackson Hayes, here's the third member of our team. Tara, take it away.
Well, thanks, John. You know, there's not much Jackson Hayes hasn't accomplished in his freshman campaign, garnering Big 12 Freshman of the Year, all-newcomer team, all-freshman team. Except there is one thing, and that would be the elusive double-double, and it hasn't gone unnoticed with head coach Shaka Smart, who's challenged his big man to grab a few more rebounds and to get those numbers up. And on no bigger stage tonight than against Kansas.
Big stage indeed. And again, the one thing to note as far as the Longhorns, they do have Kerwin Roach back, was suspended for 5 games. He is available, expected to play, but not starting. And away we go here from the Sprint Center. Hayes wins the tip. Matt Coleman controls. And away we go. McCormack edges hard as he popped out.
That's the one thing. When you play Texas, you better be ready to guard pick and roll. You're going to see Jackson Hayes screening and rolling all night. Going to be opportunities for guys like Jace Febres, Courtney Ramey to get open looks from downtown.
That's Ramey with the basketball inside the paint. Febres, he's their best shooter. McCormack pulls down the board. Again, no Udoka Azubuike. That really was when their season shifted. They were 9-0 with the big guy, who was lost for the year following a wrist injury, and just 14-8 without him. McCormack flips it up and in.
You said it, there's not many big guys out there. Actually, there's no big guys out there like Udoka Azubuike, but in the last 2 games, David McCormack has been really good. 30 points over that stretch, showing you right there, able to get to his jump hook.
Ramey and Febres, the 2 guys that can really shoot it. There's Dotson, lightning quick, steps in the lane, steals, and puts it in.
Well, a freshman mistake. Courtney Ramey have to be aware of the defense. As you said, Devon Dotson, one of the fastest guys in college basketball, shooting right through that passing lane, stealing easy points early in this game.
With and without the ball, I don't know there are too many in the game faster, as Osikowski uses the rim to seal off and puts it home.
He's got to be aggressive. He has had a lot of success against Kansas this year. I love the adjustment. Bill Self has gone to the 2 big lineup, and we see David McCormack getting his game on, setting the tone early.
The foul on Jackson Hayes, his first. That is something worth noting as far as the Longhorns, because he has had stretches where he's had a difficult time staying on the floor due to foul trouble.
He gets himself out of position. He is physically weak. He has been a freshman in that regard. Great instincts, terrific shot blocker. Shaka Smart going to take him out here, give some instruction. They need him on the floor. They are a different team when he is not in the game.
Jericho Sims replaces Jackson Hayes, who grabs a seat. And this is Ramey handling the basketball. Here's Sims, and he gets fouled. Sims, super athletic. The Longhorns, of course, led by Shaka Smart, 4th season as their head coach, taken to the NCAA tournament 2 of the 3 years that he has been in Austin. And that Cinderella run as he led VCU to the Final Four in 2011. The rims, by the way, as we continue to analyze the audio, still sound
some of the softest in the world,
really,
we believe.
Really friendly.
Well, iron unkind to Jericho Sims right there.
It was short.
Yes, you got to give it a chance.
You got to give it a shot. Listen to us. More audio analysis of the rims coming up. Kansas up 7-2. John Shelby and Robbie Hummel will be breaking down all the sounds. Abaji here, Ochai Abaji. McCormack goes opposite, and now Lawson inside, flips it up and in.
What a great possession. You get multiple post touches. David McCormack kicking it out, that ball going right back into Dedrick Lawson. Kansas' offense early here operating with a sense of urgency at a high level.
Osakowski puts it on the floor. Almost went down. Now it's Abaji on the move. Ochai Abaji to Grimes. Dotson being harassed. McCormack way off. Osakowski wide open. Grimes here. Grimes, the prize freshman, but a disappointing year. Loose ball. Texas comes away with it. Let's see what the Longhorns find on the offensive end.
Just have to think Dylan Osakowski on the block has been a good recipe for Texas all year, and he really struggled. Got some great looks against TCU. In close, unable to finish. Tonight we've seen him attempt a 3. That wasn't able to go. When he's gotten to the basket, he's had success.
Ramey able to knife through and put it in off the glass. 9-4.
I like Courtney Ramey. He's tough. A freshman that brings an edge to him. Shooting the ball well. Having a nice freshman year.
Lawson dribbles. And now the right-handed jump hook is good.
That is big time right there. That post trap coming. Dedrick Lawson taking his time, surveying the land. And like you said, just getting to that jump hook like nothing's happened.
Four players set to check in for the Longhorns. Like it's going to be a line change. Ramey. Hesitation, elbow jumper, got it.
That's a beautiful move. Courtney Ramey changing direction. Nice job. Between the legs move, getting separation, not just stepping back, but stepping away.
Kansas by 5. Lawson, he's got that in his arsenal. Sims pulls down the board.
Terrific look. He cleared the whole backside out. Allowed Dedrick Lawson, leading scorer and rebounder in the Big 12, to get a look like that. You'll feel good about that every day.
There's Febres. Shaka Smart says he is our best shooter, Jace Febres.
They need him to make shots. For that make, he was 0 for his last 11. Guy that's shown flashes, has played well against Kansas, but they're a different team when he's making perimeter jump shots, especially with Jericho Sims rolling to the rim. Also Jackson Hayes.
Abaji pull up. And Osakowski pulls down the board. Coleman hesitates. Lob attempt, that's for Sims, and he puts it in. And we are tied up.
I love what Shaka Smart did right there. You're shorting that screen and cutting Dylan Ossetkowski to the strong side, overloading the strong side and pick and roll.
Dotson gets hit. And a foul on Texas. 11-11 here in the early going. 13:34 to go here first half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball, and the spacious Volkswagen Tiguan.
First half tied at 11, quarterfinal number 4, Texas and Kansas. Let's take a look at our Big 12 flashback, and it's brought to you by Phillips 66. I'm thinking
Roach, I know, he got popped in the mouth. The tooth came out. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, chipped it, split it. I hope somebody found it. Yeah, I hope so too.
Oh, they found it all right. Dentist in the house.
Smile is intact.
That's right. They glued it back in, and he was ready to roll in game. And Kerwin Roach, who's missed a total of 7 this year, but right now, just coming off a 5-game suspension. They went 1-4 without him during that stretch.
He is their leading scorer and also a great two-way player. Really good defender. Texas going a little zone look here. The Kings can move the ball, find that high post.
Garrett shot off the mark. McCormack the rebound. Grimes tries to answer with a 3, and the tip ends up with Hepa. Roach, a guy who is super athletic. As a shooter, is pretty streaky.
He has time when he gets his feet set. He can make shots. Sometimes he falls in love with shooting perimeter jumpers off the dribble, and when things start to go south.
Ball out of bounds. And it still belongs to Kansas as Dotson will put it into play. Gets it to Mitch Lightfoot. Grimes inside, and McCormack the follow.
Well, the evolution of David McCormack has been something to see. It's a 3-game stretch now, but you love the action. A simple pin down, freeing up Quentin Grimes. Great drive, unable to finish, but McCormack right there. He's not just doing it on the offensive end of the floor. He has been outstanding, hard hedging these pick and rolls and impacting the ball handler in screen and roll action.
Elijah Mitru long off the mark. Yeah, David McCormack, big-time recruit, number 27 in the ESPN 100. Now, when you would throw it down on a follow like that, would you yell or what would you do?
Yeah, I'd yell. It was a miracle. If I dunked, it was a miracle that it happened. So you had to celebrate it like it may never happen again.
Come on. Jayhawks by a couple. John Shambi, Robbie Hummel, Tara Petrolino from the Sprint Center in Kansas City. Coleman jump stop. Hepa didn't see the shot clock and they turned it over. Our under 12 timeout, and a tight one here early.
Emotions are high. They're going to be high. They're going to be all over the place. The crowd will pump the energy into you to go out there and play your best. Embrace the moment.
This is a level that you wanted to play at your whole life.
Well, last 5 champs had a decided 2-team field. Kansas and Iowa State. Our game here, Kansas leading Texas by 2. Tara, what'd you hear in the Texas huddle?
Well, Coach Smart's telling his players defensively, try to slip through the screens. You also got to be careful of the back doors, but offensively is really what he was preaching. He said, guys, we got to get in the transition. You got to rip down that rebound and go, go, go. I want to see all of you running. We need to be more aggressive.
Big play right there as Jackson Hayes just picked up his second, and he promptly will grab a seat. Jericho Sims into the game, and we'll see if Hayes is anchored to the bench for the final 11:32.
Jericho Sims, a guy who has a boatload of talent. It just seems like this year the expectations that came along with this season have been tough for him to live up to. It's going to have a heck of a challenge going against these Kansas bigs, especially one in Dedrick Lawson.
They get it into Lightfoot. Charlie Moore is into the game. The Cal transfer. This is him handling it. Flips it up. Won't go. Sims the rebound. And Coleman will take it up ahead. Osikowski rejected. Nice job, Osikowski, to save. And Texas back the other way. Roach can't hit. Moore the rebound.
Both half-court offenses just kind of stalling out. We heard what Tara said about getting in transition. That is key for both of these teams. Both teams like to be opportunistic, get out on the break, find ways to get some easy buckets. In a game where right now, nothing coming easy in the half-court.
I know I've said to you off the air that Dedrick Lawson reminds me a little bit of former Iowa State Cyclone George Niang. And one of the things, they both, with a nice array of post moves, they could shoot it, but they both could pass it a little bit. But at times back in the day, they'd run offense through Niang because he'd make good choices. I feel like at times running stuff through Lawson is a good idea because he makes good choices, good passes.
Absolutely, and I would love to see them, now that David McCormick playing at the level that he is, a little high-low action, old school Kansas basketball. You think of the Morris twins, you think of Jeff Withey, Thomas Robinson. Those groups love to pound it inside from the top of the key. Perry Ellis, the guy that comes to mind as well.
Sims rejects that one. Shot clock at 4. (13-11) Kansas to lead, 9:36 to go.
There are some athletes on the floor, and I think that ball might have been volleyball spiked off Joe DeRosa's head.
Sorry, Joe.
Tough break for you.
Roach up ahead. Ramey. Osikowski. And then Sims with the finish, and we're tied up.
Looked like Jericho Sims might have taken some steps there. However, you got to credit Courtney Ramey. So many guys make premeditated decisions, and he did not do that there. Kicked it to Osikowski.
How fast is Dotson?
One of the fastest players. Honestly, it reminds me of watching D. Brown. Wow, the Illinois point guard. He's got that type of speed. I just think right now for Texas, if you're on the weak side, you got to be ready to play. You're running so much pick and roll, that weak side defender has to come over for the roller.
Shot clock violation, and it goes back to Kansas.
You talked about it, Boog. Devon Dotson, if not one of the fastest players in all of college basketball, just burns it to the rim. Have fun guarding him. especially in the open floor.
I asked him the other day if he'd ever been timed in the 40, and he said no. So they need to get him out to the NFL Combine. Abaji in and out, pulled down by Febris. Here come the Longhorns.
I would think he'd have to be in like the 4-4 range.
Would be my guess.
Has to.
I mean, that's the way it feels for me. And again, you know, how good I am with that.
A guy that really knows speed.
Yeah,
really knows
that's
how to
me.
judge speed. I hear you.
He's a great athlete, by the way, Dotson. Didn't play just basketball. He was a 4-sport star as a kid growing up from Charlotte. And, yeah, played some hockey. And in high school, in terms of his hoop team, he played with Grant Williams from Tennessee, who was an absolute monster. By the way, that last foul on Dedrick Lawson, his second. Well, there he is.
You just have to think he had to be a heck of a football player. Think about getting him the ball in the open field.
For Kansas, it's Lightfoot, 160 for Boston.
Watson, there he goes again. That last foul on Coleman. Coming up after the break, guys in studio are going to look at Zion Williamson and his play tonight.
Kev, Dallin, and Sean in studio. Zion is back, Dallin, and there's not a soul in an orange uniform that's safe.
Not gonna lie, I think I missed all this, guys. We show it all the time, but this dude is putting on a show right now. 8 for 8 and killing it.
He's got 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 steals.
Bruin to my left. Thoughts on that Arizona State score?
That about says it all. Seton Hall, by the way, doubling up Georgetown in a big game for the Hoyas, too, Boog.
Good reaction.
Sorry, Sean.
Yeah. So Zion showing a lot of rust.
Yeah, a lot of rust.
As we went to break, by the way, the foul on Matt Coleman. That's his second. Watch underneath. He gets tangled up with McCormick. And I think the way he's grabbing his arm, that's why the foul was charged there. 5-second call, so Texas with the ball and a chance to take the lead. Tied at 15.
Terrific pass.
Great look. And had multiple chances at it. Grimes inside. Here comes Roach, and we go. Roach tried the Euro step. And they get Lightfoot with the block.
You love the decision-making right there by Kerwin Roach. No one ever stopping the basketball. But how about this pass? Terrific look, Kerwin Roach. But Kansas's big men staying with the play. Great job there by Quentin Grimes coming from behind, making a play on the basketball.
Now Lightfoot got the initial block. Grimes aggressive on defense as Lightfoot will grab a seat. Here in the Sprint Center in a decidedly home court advantage for Kansas. They have the fewest miles to travel of any of the 10 teams. West Virginia comes from the farthest distance away. Here's McCormick. Inside, left hand, it's good. 9 points for McCormick.
Well, the way he caught the basketball, he buried Roy's hand. Doing your work early before you even catch it, making life easy on yourself.
One semifinal set tomorrow. Iowa State and Kansas State. West Virginia awaits the winner of this one. An upset winner over Texas Tech. Nice shot, Courtney Ramey.
The jump stop and the elevation. You let that defender fly by you, come to a complete stop and then go up on a dime. That's a pretty pull-up jump shot by Courtney Ramey.
KJ Lawson, Dedrick Lawson's older brother, into the game. He's a sophomore, but he's older. Longhorns by a point. Ramey inside. Ham against McCormick. Flips it up. Air ball. Abaji has it.
Some missed opportunities for Texas around the basket. That's twice now they've had Royce Ham in great position, but coming away empty-handed.
Inside, and Roach absorbs the contact. Let's go back the other end.
You talk about getting deep position. Look where he is right now. Both feet firmly entrenched on that block. Buries Royce Ham, then really nice, strong move, gets to the left hand. But it's not just on the offensive end of the floor. Certainly hustling there, maybe a little bit of false hustle. He's saving that. It's going the other way. Kerwin Roach coming, getting himself to the line.
Royce Ham, who has gotten limited minutes in Big 12 play, getting a chance in a high leverage spot.
In the game for Texas, Jericho Sims, Elijah Mitchell-Long.
20-17, the Longhorns with the lead. The 6 seed on top of the 3 seed. We've already had the 10 upset the 2. West Virginia over Texas Tech. Dotson inside, too quick.
That was a blur. That was so elite by Devon Dotson. Eli Mitchell-Long had no chance here. Just a little hesitation move. Get some contact. It's an easy game when you're as physically gifted as Devon Dotson.
Elijah Mitchell-Long to transfer from Mount St. Mary's. Of course, his brother knows all about this league. He was a really good player for Iowa State. Closing into the 5-minute mark, Texas by a point. Ramey finds Sims. Wow. Sims throws it down. Literally threw it down.
We talked about Texas having opportunities. That's a heck of a way to capitalize right there. You're Kansas, you have to defend pick and roll. You're going to see it every time down the floor.
We get the foul on Febris.
There you see it. This has to be KJ Lawson in. He's worried about Dylan Osetkowski out on the perimeter. Osetkowski, guy that's shooting 26% from 3. This is a 99.9% shot for Jericho Sims. You got to be in and work your way out.
So Grimes at the line. Worth noting that Dedrick Lawson back in the game, despite the fact that he's got 2 fouls for Kansas. There he is popping out. Winner this one plays West Virginia. And that will be in semifinal number 2 tomorrow. Garrett. But it's stripped out of bounds. But is it off his leg? It was. Keith Kimball and Joe DeRosa get together.
Outstanding hands. You see Marcus Garrett getting something going in transition. You see Eli Mitchell-Long. I think that was off Eli Mitchell-Long.
I would agree.
That was a poor call.
Ramey, high arcing shot. Dotson the board.
Just a little out of control. You have to understand what you have in pick and roll.
Lawson steps into a 3. Kansas the lead.
Bad shots lead to runouts, and usually that means made 3-point field goals or layups, and that's exactly what Dedrick Lawson getting right there, trailing into the play.
First 3 of the game for Kansas. Ramey almost lost the handle, and now Flipping it towards Sims. And a break in the action with Kansas up by a point. 3:44 to go here, first half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal Investments, Retirement, Insurance.
Kev, Dallin, and Sean coming up on the Audi halftime report. Zion is back, and you will not believe what he's doing against Syracuse. Plus, a first in the Big 12. West Virginia is moving on. Huge game for Texas, Dallin, and they're playing pretty well.
They are playing well. They've stayed in this thing so far. Kerwin Roach off the bench has done some stuff, but it's been a battle. Both teams defending well.
Yeah, some turnover issues for Kansas. They've got 6 here in the first half. And by the way, Ravi, stop texting me saying that you feel bad about my Bruins. You don't care.
I'm your friend, man. Of course I care.
Oh, gosh. All right, so with a win, they're at 51%. With a loss at 8%. So even with a win here, they're right on the edge. And with a loss, it would seem they're done. Lawson, little jump hook, gorgeous.
That is so pretty. The rotation on that shot, the way he gets to his right jump hook. That's a grown man right there. It's a stud.
Osikowski pass deflected. Collision midcourt. Mitru Long gathers it in. Shot clock, by the way, because Kansas never took possession. It's winding down. Osikowski, huge three. And they're tied up 25 apiece.
It's amazing. You get some dribble penetration. Nice job, Eli Mitru Long, getting into that paint. All of a sudden, those percentages skyrocket. That's a quality look. Dylan Osikowski ready and waiting in the corner.
Lawson couldn't get it to go. Good work by Lightfoot. Grabs it, but the putback won't go. It has not been an offensive Mona Lisa so far tonight. And Osikowski will go to the line.
You got to understand. I guarantee you it says it in the Kansas scouting report. Dylan Osikowski wants to fake the dribble handoff and burn it to the basket. That's exactly what he did right there. That defense just relaxes. You think you're off the hook. You think your job is done, but you're not. You got to stay locked in. Osikowski getting to the rim.
Tied at 25. Osikowski got himself in a much better shape. Dropped about 25 pounds coming into the year. Third in the Big 12 in rebound. They get a little over 7 a game.
Put in a ton of work. Weight room, eating right. Really took it seriously this offseason, and it has really showed in his physical fitness level. Has had stretches this year where he's played extremely well, but a little inconsistent. They need him here tonight.
Grimes not able to hit. Ramey rebounds, and now Coleman. Under 2 to go. Quarterfinal number 4. Winner gets West Virginia in the semifinals.
I'd like to see these Texas bigs maybe slip some of these ball screens. Kansas is so aggressive, hard hedging. Maybe catch him in between, get something easy going to the rim. But if you got Jay Febris, just do that.
30-second timeout. We'll take it with him. Well, Jace Febris with 6 points, both baskets, 3-pointers, not surprisingly.
He has played well against this Kansas team on the year, 12 points a game, but shooting 42% from 3. He's had games where he's really been on. Think about in Manhattan, the job he did, knocked down 7 threes against Kansas State. Problem is, he's kind of been a little bit of feast or famine.
He can really shoot it. Last 2, though, coming in, 1 for 15, so it's just weird how all over the place it's been for Jace Fevers, and that really is his one dimension. He's not a guy who's going to rack up assists or pass it a lot.
I think the next step for him would be becoming a good rebounder from the guard position. That's something that Shaka Smart has really preached to him throughout the year, and kind of like his shooting, he's had games where he's done that really well, but also had moments where, you know, with his size at 6'5", he should be a guy that gets 4 or 5 rebounds a game.
So now Dotson, 78% from the stripe, gets the first. What's your take on what you've seen so far in this first half? Kind of hard to describe. It hasn't been real pretty either way.
Well, it's been a junked up game, and I think that probably favors more so of Texas. I think Kansas wants to get out. They want to run. We've seen a ton of pick and roll from Texas, and so far Kansas has handled it pretty well. There's been a couple breakdowns where Texas found their rolling big man. But you're right, it has not been a Mona Lisa by any means.
Coleman lost the handle. Moore takes it away. Now KJ Lawson, Dotson, Garrett. And Garrett's able to finish.
That's the kind of plays that Kansas wants to make. They want to get out on the break, use those athletes.
McCormick rejects Coleman.
You've got really a human fast break in Devon Dotson. Nice advance pass. And how about this finish? Shot blockers coming. Marcus Garrett changing hands midair. Great body control.
29 apiece. The 6 seed versus the 3 seed. They split the 2 matchups during the year, with Texas winning at home. Kansas won at home, but Texas had a chance, the final shot, a chance at the win. They had a pretty good look at it. Bill Self's team trying to get into the semifinals and face West Virginia. So far in this one, Dedrick Lawson with 9. David McCormick off to a nice start, and Devon Dotson with 8. That's been the story offensively. The rest of the team 1 for 12 combined.
Those 3 guys have certainly done their part. You have to look at guys like Quentin Grimes,
Abaji,
Ochai Abaji. Haven't really even called his name. Hasn't been aggressive.
Abaji's a weird one. You know, his first start of his career was against Texas. He scored 24. That was January 29th. It came in the loss.
He's kind of cooled off. His first 10 games, he came out guns blazing, and he's kind of come back to earth here. But we have not seen an aggressive Ochai Abaji here in his hometown of Kansas City.
Big offensive rebound. About 7-second differential shot clock with game clock. Roach going to work. Moves on Dotson. Garrett closes. Ramey. Lawson with the rebound, and now Dotson. Tossed up ahead. McCormick is fouled, and with 2.7 seconds left, McCormick will go to the line.
You have to love the fact that Devon Dotson plays the point guard position looking up the floor. So many guys want to pound the air out of it. It's one dribble, it's look up, I got my big fella running, throw it to the rim.
Kansas trying to forge ahead with 2.7 left. And McCormick not able to hit either. And the first half comes to a close. Tied at 29. Winner of this one will take on West Virginia in the semifinals tomorrow. Texas desperately needing a win to make the NCAA tournament. And both teams heading to the locker room. But first, here's Tara with Shaka Smart.
Coach, we just saw you talk to Ramey as he was coming off the floor. What did you say?
Just talked about the fact that when the floor is spread, our guards got to go create, get in the paint, and make a play for each other. I thought we were pretty good defensively for the most part. Got lost in transition a couple times. We're going to have to defend for the next 20 minutes.
What's the message to your team right now?
Just keep fighting. Transition defense, giving them nothing easy on the break. And then offensively, getting in the paint, try to get to the foul line.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
29 apiece, our score, Kansas and Texas. Time to send it to the studio. We turn it over. Hello, Kevin Connors.
Oh, Boog, and welcome into the Audi halftime report. Kevin Connors, Dallin Cuff, Sean Farnham, Duke, Syracuse, Zion's back. And Dallin, America is going to need to temper expectations about this guy. It is going to take time for him to get back to where he was, right?
Well, I thought there might have been some rust, but that was about 2 minutes and 6 seconds in. This is the biggest difference, Sean, is their ability to create turnovers and offense. They get 16 points off turnovers. Problem is they're turning over the ball themselves.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, look, the show is back.
Oh, baby.
The excitement can come back. Look, it's good to see him. And when you're finishing like that, I mean...
Great touch pass by Trey Jones there, too.
Yeah, I really like to finish more than I like to pass. I mean, unbelievable first half for him when you think about his level of efficiency and how hard he played, how well he played. 21, 9, and 5. Last Duke player to have 20, 10, and 5 in a game in those three categories was back in 2005, Sheldon Williams. He almost did that in the first half.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Incredible. But the first half was not without controversy. Let's show you what happened early on there involving Syracuse guard Frank Howard, Dallin. After Zion throws it down, what did you see here?
And Frank Howard's actually having a great game. This is not great. Now, I don't have the desire or maybe even the energy to feign outrage. I do think this is, you can't do this. It's a dirty play. He's trying to trip him. But at the same time, Zion did not go down. Nothing serious out of it, but you can't do it.
No, you can't do it. That would be the first thing. Second of all, though, like if I saw something like that, and I've been on a bench as an assistant coach before. So when you're an assistant coach, you have assigned responsibilities. Some of them are like, hey, keep track of fouls. You know, maybe you're tracking your defensive stops, how many stops you're getting in a row, whatnot. There's also things that you have to bring to the attention of the head coach. And I'm not saying that the Duke assistant coaching staff did not do it, but I would have made a big deal about that. If I saw somebody trying to trip Zion Williamson in his first game back, I would have made sure that I got that to my head coach and he stopped play and forced him to look at it. Because if they looked at that, at the very least, that's going to be a technical foul.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not making any excuses, but Duke players have been involved in similar stuff in recent years.
But those have been called technical fouls with Grayson Allen.
Also very wrong, obviously. A storyline there in the Syracuse game.
And some of those were more egregious. I'm not trying to split hairs here, but some of those were pretty egregious in the Duke history. Frank Howard, wasn't that bad.
That game over on ESPN right now. Meantime, we started...
You can't do it, but he didn't kick out at a guy like Grayson had kicked out at a guy before.
Yeah, but it's still bad.
It is bad. Okay, it's levels of bad.
You know what else is bad? Texas Tech losing to West Virginia, Dallin, a West Virginia team that won 4 games during the regular season.
Thank you, Kevin. This was unequivocally a bad performance by Texas Tech. Now, Jarrett Culver was great late and gave them a lead here, but he stopped attacking the last possession. That might be their fatal flaw here in this game.
You guys are half empty. I'm a half full guy. This was really good for West Virginia and Bobby Huggins' team.
Nice.
Look,
Peter positive
they did not shoot the ball very well all season long. They made enough shots here. Emmett Matthews with a career-high game of 28 and 8 for him. He was outstanding.
79-74. Mountaineers are moving on when we come back. NC State, Indiana, some of those teams on the bubble. Where do they sit according to Joe? You'll find out next.
Friday, crispy bacon, brioche bun. The brunch burger is a win because now I can have brunch whenever I want.
It's a real brunch of champions.
Oh, you referring to these old things?
No, I was referring to the burger.
Sonic's Brunch Burger or quarter-pound double cheeseburger in tots for $2.99. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
This halftime report is presented by Audi.
Our next UFC Fight Night happens Saturday in London. Frank Howard and Zion Williamson in the octagon. No. It's actually Darren Till taking on Jorge Masvidal, welterweight co-main event, 4 Eastern on ESPN+.
I see what you did there, Carter.
Jericho Sims, big first half of the Texas Longhorns. They are tied at the break. 20 minutes to go in Kansas City. This has been the Audi halftime report, second half on the way.
We're more than just medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. We're $5 bone-out wings, $5 garlic knots, $5 desserts. We're all this, just $5 each. Call, click, carry out, or delivery. The $5 lineup, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is your invitation to a higher standard of luxury. This is the invitation to Lexus Sales Event.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $379 a month for 36 months. Now through March 31st.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
The Big 12, the nation's premier basketball conference, where the best coaches and the top athletes call home. Consistently rated the nation's best. In the Big 12, we play every team at home and away. When we say every game matters, we mean it.
Welcome back to Champ Week, presented by Principal and the Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship. Back here in Kansas City, a look at downtown as we get ready to finish up our fourth quarterfinal. And at the half, 29-29, the 6-seed Texas, the 3-seed Kansas. Welcome courtside, everybody. John Chambie alongside Robbie Hummel. This is a game that Texas really needs. We'll get to that in a moment. First half, though, and one of the guys I know you love watching is Devon Dotson. Just so quick and gets others involved.
How can you not? I mean, the way he gets up and down the floor, 8 first-half points. He was terrific, also distributing the basketball. But the big fella is really the story here in the first half. Both Dedrick Lawson and David McCormack getting it going. 18 points, 5 rebounds between the two. When Dedrick Lawson gets the ball that deep on the block, good luck defending that, getting to his right jump hook. Really a nice effort by both Kansas big guys here in the first half. We'll see Jackson Hayes settle with early foul trouble for Texas. Can he stay on the floor? A huge piece of what Shaka Smart wants to do in the second half.
No doubt they're going to need more quality performance from their big guys. For more on Kansas, here's Tara.
Well, I just caught up with Coach Self and asked him what his biggest concern was right now, and he kind of chuckled and said, we're just not making shots. We need to get some baskets. He's like, I really like how we're guarding right now. I feel like we're okay on the defensive end. But we've got some botched opportunities, not making free throws, not making layups. He's like, that's just got to change.
Well, the change right there, off to a good start. Dedrick Lawson, he's got 11. Lawson, their leading scorer, of course, led the conference in scoring and rebounding. The last guy to do that in the Big 12, you got to go all the way back to Blake Griffin. Osikowski with a triple, and Texas takes the lead.
I said in the first half, Texas will have opportunities to make perimeter jump shots, especially when Jackson Hayes, such a threat as a roller, is in the game.
Dotson inside, flips it in.
You're Courtney Ramey. You have to make Devon Dotson use the ball screen. You get turned down, your help is at the ball screen. There's nothing on the baseline. With as fast as Devon Dotson is, you let him do that, you're in for a long night.
Coleman to Ramey. Lawson the rebound. Lawson was eyeing Abaji. Pull-up jumper. That's tipped out. On the move, Coleman. And Hayes gets fouled. Jackson Hayes will go to the line. Well, in our open, we talked about teams on the bubble. TCU, one of them, but Shaka Smart's team right there on the bubble. Even with a win, it would move them to 51%, according to BPI, with a loss down to 8%. So they're among the last 8 in. That last foul, by the way, on Dedrick Lawson, and that is his 3rd.
If Texas doesn't make the NCAA tournament, it would certainly be a season remembered for missed opportunities. You think about so many times. They have great wins. They beat Purdue. They beat North Carolina. They've beaten this Kansas team. They've just come up short in games that you feel like talent-wise they should have won.
Abaji feed inside, Lawson. And Jackson Hayes picking up his 3rd.
Dedrick Lawson just physically manhandling Jackson Hayes. And we talked about this in the first half. Sometimes he has a tendency to pick up fouls because he's a little out of position, not knowing the game, but right there, lacking physical strength and having to foul a guy as strong as Dedrick Lawson.
Well, one of the things with Jackson Hayes that you've got to focus on, the learning curve, it's not just, you know, the mental game, but also the physical. But you go back, I mean, he played 6 minutes as a junior in high school. He played 1 year of AAU. There, you know, he's still learning.
That's why you see him get better,
no doubt,
in quantum leaps. It's not like you're fine-tuning a basketball player that's been doing it since he's 6 years old.
Yep.
This is a really new thing for him, still growing into his body,
and that honestly, also why people like him so much.
Absolutely. He has so much room to grow and already a really good player, but think about what the sky is and the ceiling is for him. It can, man, it's scary to think about. He could be really good.
Here tonight, in 6 minutes, 3 fouls for Jackson Hayes. Air ball there, Grimes has it. Kansas 2-point lead. Winner of this will take on West Virginia in the semifinals. McCormick travels. Jackson Hayes, of course, his dad, Jonathan, tight end in the NFL. And an All-America at Iowa, 12 years in the NFL. Mom was the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year at Drake, Mom Christie. Abaji, and one. And Ochai Abaji will go to the line.
Maybe that sparks the freshman right there. Have not seen him be very aggressive, but again, the run out, takes contact, keeps his head to the rim. Terrific focus and concentration, and Ochai Abaji rewarded with a chance for a 3-point play.
Really bad play there by Ramey. Either do it or don't do it. Either foul him, you know, like cutting under him and making contact, then hammer him.
The easiest 3-point play he might have all season, absolutely. You're going to foul him. He can't get that shot up to the rim. Now, you can't flagrantly foul him.
Right, no, but not advocating it.
Absolutely.
But we'll get out of the way. Kansas by 4. Osikowski working on McCormick. Off the glass and good. That's a nice man.
The way he spun off, and funny because Bill Self told David McCormack that shoot around, you got to be on balance. He's going to love to spin on you. Right there, that's exactly what happened.
Dotson splits the defense, couldn't spin it home, but there's McCormick, and he's got 11, first 2 of the second half. And that was all created by Devon Dotson, splitting the D, drawing the defenders, and the offensive rebound available for McCormick.
We talked about Kansas's hard hedges. As a big fella, you cannot get split. You are giving up a straight line drive to the rim, the fastest guy on the floor.
Shot clock winding down. Ramey lost the handle, batted around, it ends up with Lawson. To the corner, Dotson. The lead is 7.
Devon Dotson, a little extra pass, Ochai Abaji, and all of a sudden Kansas has some serious momentum here in the second half.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal Investments, Retirement, Insurance.
Hey, it's the New York Life Pac-12 tournament. Washington is one, Colorado as well. Coming up, you got UCLA and Arizona State and Utah and Oregon. By the way, Sean Farner back in studio. He's got an interest.
He does. That better not happen, Sean.
He's
know
been
what I'm talking about.
He's been texting you stuff, hasn't he? He's been needling you.
He has.
He's a needler. Take him down to the low blocks. You got the size advantage. Booyah. .42-35. Kansas on top. Abaji. Ochai Abaji feeds in Lawson. Going to work on Singh. There's that jump hook. Roach the other way as they go 4-on-5.
Just not a great choice. It's not a good shot. I know you're trying to make something happen, but when your offense is stalling, taking bad contested shots anywhere on the court.
Nicely done by McCormick.
He's really coming into his own.
Yeah.
You have to think this is a different Kansas team. You can play David McCormick on the low block, move Dedrick Lawson around, play him inside, play him outside, use him as a facilitator. It's a different squad than we saw a couple weeks ago where they were playing 4 guards.
13-3 run. 9 is the biggest lead of the game for Kansas. Osikowski the putback.
Texas gets bailed out there. Another poor contested jump shot. And the ball in a scramble ends up with Dylan Osikowski, who has 15 points.
Grimes, good feed. Lawson, bucket.
I will say this, Boo. Quentin Grimes has not shot the basketball great, but he has done a better job as the season has progressed of finding his teammates, getting others involved. A guy that came in with a big-time reputation as a scorer, but facilitating as well this season.
Osikowski, Lawson rebound. Under 14 to go. Lawson with crossover, step back. Osikowski buries that one. He's got 18.
He needs somebody to come with him here. He needs some help. He cannot bring this back by themselves, but transition defense nowhere to be seen. An open 3 given up, just not getting back, not finding your man.
Grimes able to answer, back to 9. Osikowski, by the way, the 18 points, a season high. Roach travels. 12:44 to go here in this one. Kansas with the lead.
How about the freshman, David McCormick, getting after it on the offensive glass. But it's not just him. Quentin Grimes heating up.
The end of the practice is when we do all of our intensity drills. She was going at it.
Stop. Right there. There we go.
If we win this, is the one way to get to the playoffs.
I know.
Back in Kansas City, quarterfinal number 4, Kansas by 9. So Texas needing a win, and they are down. For more in the Longhorns, here's Tara.
Coach Smart telling his guys in that huddle, listen, we got to settle down a little. We just got to relax and cool out. It's not like there's 3 minutes left in this game right now. Buckle down and guard these guys. Man or zone, we got to be more aggressive on defense. No one's doing anything right now.
Kansas with the ball and the lead. Grimes jumper, offensive rebound. Always interesting watching them without Lawson on the court. Osikowski to take away.
Sometimes look directionless without him. You know, when you're missing a guy of that caliber, you have to remember Devon Dotson, Quentin Grimes, still freshmen. Devon Dotson's a great player, but has not played a ton of college basketball.
It's our under 12 timeout. 11:52 to go. Kansas the lead. Big 12 championship, we've got brackets. All right, so the semifinals are set on one side. 1 seed Kansas State, 5 seed Iowa State, West Virginia. 2 down, 2 to go, as they say. We're playing to get in the tournament. This is Bob Huggins' quote. We had a meeting, we sat down and we talked about it. This is our chance. 2 down, 2 to go, said Huggs, who, by the way, is a must-follow on Twitter. We're not dead yet. Mood.
That was an amazing tweet. Yeah. If you haven't seen the video, you got to check his Twitter out and look at this spot they filmed. I have no idea what year that was.
So good. They brought quite an effort in that win over Texas Tech. I don't know how anybody could have seen that coming.
They've played better over the course of the last week or 2 weeks, really, but man, you're right.
And there's a positivity around them and a belief, no question about it.
That was not there a month ago.
Absolutely. They lost multiple Big 12 games by 30-ish.
They lost to Texas Tech by 30-ish.
At TCU. Ramey, open.
They're just going to have to make those. If you want to come back and you want to win this game, you got Jackson Hayes on the floor bringing so much attention to himself. You got to make some perimeter jump shots and make Kansas pay.
Grimes can't hit. 8-point game. Mitru Long inside. The floater is good.
That's a beautiful finish. He kept that out, held it away from the defense, floated it up, had some English on it. And a nice take by Eli Mitru Long. See if they can find Dedrick Lawson in the middle of this zone. That's the thing, like you said, great passer. He can really facilitate.
Garrett +1. And Marcus Garrett will go to the line, a guy known for the work he does on the defensive end, making an impact offensively.
You said it, a great defender, but also a guy that, as a straight line driver, can get downhill, loves to use his right hand to finish right there, gets contact, keeps his balance. Nice little floater.
So again, semifinals coming up tomorrow afternoon. Bob Wischusen, Fran Fraschilla, and Holly Rowe will have the call. Kansas State and Iowa State, one of the matchups, each winning on the road. They split the season series, those two. Osikowski. Got 18 to lead all scorers. Grimes, finger roll. And the lead is 11.
It's been points in the paint. It's been points in transition. And the latter of that is now 17-0 in favor of Kansas.
How about Coleman knocking one down? They needed that. His first 3 points of the night.
Just an easy read. You got two guys on a rolling Jackson Hayes. There's those opportunities we talked about from the perimeter.
Grimes. Coleman swings it, Mitru Long. And Lawson swoops in for the rebound.
Some open threes out here for the taking for both teams. Missed open jump shots. We talked about it. Kansas getting out, running in transition. Again, not pounding the basketball, advancing it up the court. Nice pass, Marcus Garrett. And Quentin Grimes beating everyone down the floor from Texas.
Transition point 17-0.
Shaka Smart talked about at their walkthrough. He was really concerned about guarding Dedrick Lawson and not allowing Kansas to get out and thrive in transition. Lawson's got 15 points on 6 of 12 shooting. They've done a decent job on him, but the transition part has not been there.
This guy is impressive as a freshman, Devon Dotson. More than one person has remarked, and who knows how it'll play out. I mean, Frank Mason ended up as a player of the year, but at similar spots, Dotson a superior player as a freshman, getting to play more for sure.
Has more of an opportunity for sure, but I think that with some of these freshman point guards, when they have success like this, it gets lost on you how hard it is to play that position at that age. There's a lot of experience that comes with the territory, and you see a guy like Devon Dotson stepping in and doing it at a place like Kansas, where they play one of the toughest schedules in the country. To get third team All Big Ten this year for him is a huge accomplishment.
So in February, and then the first 3 games of March, and then tonight. So more what we saw in February than at the beginning part of the month. Devon Dotson, just a freshman and one of the fastest players in the country. 10-point advantage for Kansas, 8:21 to go. John Shambi, Robbie Hubble, and Tara Petrolino from the Sprint Center in Kansas City. The winner takes on West Virginia in the semifinals tomorrow. West Virginia an upset winners over Texas Tech. Coleman able to scoop it up, and then Osikowski gives off to Rainey. That was back tapped. It'll stay with Texas. And it's our under 8 timeout. For the Jayhawks, the trio, Devon Dotson, Dedrick Lawson, and David McCormack. 43 of the 56. Kansas on top.
When you choose fun, it's like a party you never want to stop starting. A shot you never want to stop calling. Swish. A root beer you never want to stop floating. A splish you never want to stop splashing. A friend you never want to stop greeting. Because once you choose fun, you never want to stop. Carnival. Choose fun.
Whatever you need Zion to do, he can do. And that's the difference.
Oh my God. In order to win a championship, you have to be outstanding. If Zion's healthy, we'll have a chance.
Big Saturday of championships. Big 12, ACC coming your way. And Zion tonight, first Duke player with 25, 10, and 5 since Christian Laettner, 1992.
That is rare air.
Duke, by the way, up 10 with 3.5 to go. I don't know that everybody realizes how great a college player Laettner was
because of his pro career player. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves for that.
He also, by the way, was a decent NBA player.
Absolutely. Just the expectations that were set so high from the way he played in college. This dude made the dream team.
Febres fired. halfway down. Osakowski gathers it in, flips it up. Bill Self's team in the unique spot for them where they're kind of the underdog. For Texas, a loss would move them to 16-16. No team has received an NCAA tournament at-large bid with a 500 record or 16 losses. So Texas would fit both categories with a loss. That would not seem to bode well for their chances.
As you said, it might not just be this game either. They may have to win a couple here in Kansas City if they want to make the NCAA tournament.
Osakowski a little strong. They get the foul on Jackson Hayes. That is his fourth. Last four in now. Florida, TCU, Texas, NC State. First four out. Clemson, Belmont, and Alabama. Plus Indiana. Good job by Hayes.
The instincts he showed right there. That's a feel deal. You can feel somebody coming to the rim and elevating and deflecting that lob away.
Febris.
No chance.
No. Yeah, no doubt. Low it down. Timeout, Kansas. Bill Self says, hang on, fellas. 5:39 to go, up by 7. John Shelby, Robbie Hummel. Your Big 12 quarterfinal number 4. Hasn't been pretty for Kansas in this one. It's been Lawson, Dotson, and McCormick.
They have gotten it done in the paint. They've also gotten out. Devon Dotson has been electric in transition. We've seen the speed. We've seen him knock down perimeter jump shots. The freshman doing a little bit of everything. Tied for the lead in scoring at 15 points. 5 of 9 from the field. Got to the line 5 times.
Tara, what do you have?
Well, Coach Self talked about this week that he felt his guys needed to grow up a little and play beyond their years a little bit. He said last year we had Silvio De Sousa and Malik Newman. Not sure if we'll get those type of performances, but we need guys to step up and make plays. And guys, they certainly have done that in the second half.
And De Sousa obviously watching the NCAA coming down on him, and not a question about his future. Doesn't appear to be as an NCAA basketball player. Suspended by the NCAA. They got all the way to the Final Four last year. Febris gets inside, a rare drive for Jace Febris. 5-point game.
Nice take. Really good shooter. You're going to have defenders closing out incredibly hard on you. We talked about the progression for him, becoming a better rebounder. Driving closeouts for pull-ups and getting to the rim would be that upper echelon that he can reach. You can make shots. You can find ways to have success and other ways scoring the ball on the floor. It makes such a big difference. It's so much easier if you're a shot maker.
Grimes gets the first. Grimes just 2 for 9 from the floor, but he's got 10 points. They'll make it 8, beg your pardon. Seven-point game, 5 to go. The winner plays West Virginia the semifinals. Mitru Long feeds down low. Keep Kimball right on it. Shot clock under 10. Mitru Long. Elijah Mitru Long able to draw the foul. They get that on Grimes.
Quentin Grimes did just about everything right. He really moved his feet. And Eli Mitru Long in jail there, but you come down at the end. Kind of get your hands caught in the cookie jar. You love to see your freshmen defend with that type of effort and enthusiasm.
Well, tonight following Oregon and Utah, will run ESPN Sports Center. Stan Barrett, Zubin Mehenti, they'll take you inside Zion and his monster return against Syracuse, plus full stars Zach Levine and Lori Markkinen judge our Sports Center Slam Dunk Contest. Sports Center, 1:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app. David McCormick, 13 points, 9 rebounds, has played well. Lawson in close, could not finish. Osikowski hobbling a little bit for Texas.
It was a great design play. Really run almost to perfection. You get exactly what you want. Dedrick Lawson at point blank range going to his strong hand.
Severus, a really good shooter. He also has some really bad misses.
Yes, he does. I think he maybe rushed that shot. He had plenty of time. The elevator screen did its job.
6-point advantage. Dotson, look at that move. Wow.
The change of direction. That Euro step, that is some big time stuff right there. Devon Dotson showing us the package.
Timeout Texas, 3:25 to go. The lead is 8.
Well, Devon Dotson showing us about everything he can do. Burn it to the rim, get a little Euro step. Kansas trying to hang on here late. Kansas City.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball, and Papa John's, any large handcrafted specialty pizza, just $12.
Back in Kansas City, interested spectator, brand new head football coach for Kansas, Les Miles. He's hoping to see Bill Self pick up a win and move on to the semifinals. And we're interested to see what type of impact Les Miles can have on that football program. And for Texas, the story remains the same. Need a win. Roach inside and off the glass it is. Big bucket right there, lead back to 6. Fouling Lawson. Dylan Osikowski has been the one guy that really has been impactful on the offensive end for Texas with 18 points. And for Kansas, that trio, Lawson, McCormick, Dotson. And Texas right now on the bubble among the last 4 in, according to Joey Brackets. That last foul, by the way, on Kerwin Roach Jr., his 4th, as you see Osikowski getting work done. In and out, 7-point game. Roach will try a 3. Got it.
How do you do that? That's the point guard bringing the ball down the floor and nobody's guarding him. There's no way that's David McCormick's man. The complete mental breakdown for Kansas. Have to get the ball in the middle here. See that big gap right by the Big 12 logo.
And it ends up with Jackson Hayes closing it on 2 to go, and Texas hanging around. Hayes went down hard, and he is in some pain.
Jackson Hayes rolling to the rim, and there you see it. Devon Dotson trying to get to that corner, and it's knee on knee. That is painful.
Bob Christie looking on, outstanding hoop player in her own right, was the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. And that was for Drake back in the day. Jackson Hayes, cool story. Grew up in Cincinnati, went to Moeller High School, a high school that can boast 2 baseball Hall of Famers. Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Larkin went there. And a guy who's entered high school at 6 feet tall. Yeah, one of the things his parents said about the recruiting process, it was so nice because it wasn't some extended thing. It was just basically the 1 year. And he's got a lot of great hoops ahead of him. Certainly in some pain right there. That knee-to-knee knock that he suffered from Devon Dotson.
Kowski replaces Hayes. And they give Kansas Marcus Garrett replacing David McCormick.
So Hayes to the bench. Texas down by 4, and without their big guy right here.
Without him, it's got to be Kerwin Roach, Dylan Osakowski. Those 2 guys. Osakowski all night. Roach finally showing some signs of life.
.90 seconds to go. Kansas by 4. Abaji hesitated for a second. Lawson had the rebound, then lost it. Here comes Roach. To the corner, and Coleman. And Garrett, a huge rebound.
Get exactly what you want. You get in transition, you get an extra pass. You get one of your best players with an open shot. And it's been one of those nights for Texas shooting the basketball.
Under a minute, Kansas by 4. Grimes. First good look you get. And they go possession arrow. It stays with Texas.
You just feel like with Texas offense, so much of it is predicated off of having an elite roller. They play a ton of pick and roll, and they love to have their athletic bigs roll into the rim, and right now they don't have that on the floor. Dedrick Lawson putting Eli Mitru-Long in handcuffs right there.
Roach step back. And it ends up with Grimes, and he gets fouled. Jackson Hayes looking on in some pain. And this looks like it's going to end up being a painful night for him in more than one way. Longhorns among the last 4 in, according to Joe Lunardi. And Texas with a loss. Their odds of getting in the NCAA tournament down under 10%. Six-point game, gotta go. Coleman, that's a 3. Grimes rebounds.
Shaka Smart was calling out a play. That was not it. Texas looking just a little confused on that possession, and Matt Coleman sensing that the time running down has to take a tough 3.
Two shots here. Grimes with a chance to turn this into a 3-possession game. And pretty well ended. So it looks to be set. Kansas, West Virginia. But first it'll be Iowa State and Kansas State. Those will be your semifinals, barring some type of miracle. Coleman inside. Kansas basketball. Jackson Hayes being led off the court. Longhorns showed a lot of fight. But in the end, this one belongs to the Jayhawks. Bill Self in Kansas. They win it 65-57. And so far this year, for Bill Self and the Jayhawks, things have gone well at home and on neutral courts. There are the brackets. Kansas State, Iowa State, Kansas, and West Virginia. Right now, BPI with Texas at 8%. Kansas wins at 65-57. Be sure to join us tomorrow night. Big 12 Championship semifinal starting at 7 Eastern. For Robbie Hummel, Tara Petrolino, and our entire outstanding crew, I'm John Chambi saying so long from Kansas City.